Hey, Pantsless Commandos. It is I, Pantsless Aaron, back again after years. It's been 2 years since I uploaded anything to this channel, and it's been even longer since I made a video specifically for this channel. I decided I should maybe explain what has gone on with me and why I left, and just answer questions that I assume longtime subscribers and followers of mine might have about this YouTube channel. First and foremost, why did I quit? And the answer to that is real simple: editing. I hate video editing now with a passion that is almost unholy. I grew to despise it slowly over time. And I think it reached its peak around the time I got an email from YouTube disclosing my quote unquote revenue for the year, because this was back when YouTube was paying anybody, regardless of how many subscribers and fans they had. And I had made 50 cents for an entire year's worth of work. And after that point, I couldn't, I couldn't justify going back to the editing, station and software a single time after that. Because why? At this point, I had already been streaming for GOG.com over on Twitch. And I would do like a 2 or 3 hour stream, and somebody would show up and just give me $10 for doing a stream I was going to do anyway. They would put a tip in my jar, and in that one transaction, I had made 20 times as much money as I had made for an entire year's worth of effort on YouTube, and I couldn't. I couldn't justify going back even a single time. Now, do I regret it? Yes. And I'll explain why, because I think I may have underestimated the fans a little bit. When I quit, I was thinking a lot of things, like other alternatives. What could I do? Maybe I could start a Patreon. But it just never seemed like I had a big enough following for Patreon, and I just kept telling myself, nobody's gonna nobody's gonna sign up for that. Are you kidding? It was my brain doing what my brain does and lying to me, because I think some of you would have, genuinely, and I'm pretty sure I have friends and family who would have just thrown money just to keep me going. But the fans, the subscribers, your generosity on YouTube has been insane. I mean, there were fans who would come by and comment on every single video. So happy to see a new video. No matter what it was, they would come and comment on it, and I feel bad because I let them down. And then there were people whose generosity went beyond that. There were people who would send me things. I got a package in the mail one day, I still don't know from who, with 4 PlayStation 2 games in them. Mind you, at least 3 of them were garbage. Like, absolutely terrible. So I assume it was from somebody who wanted me to review them and tear them apart. There was no note. There was no nothing. There was no return address. I have no idea who it came from. I think it got to me through my Amazon wish list because it was in an Amazon box. But I can't be certain about that at all. I know I didn't order them. I can tell you that much. And somebody who I do know who it was sent me a TurboGrafx 16 machine, which I only did one video on. I feel bad about that. I should have done more. And there were other fans who gave more stuff. When I did the Save Files Resident Evil episode, which covered all the games that I owned, there were some games I didn't own, and I said so in the video. And people sent me the games I was missing. I got a copy of Resident Evil Gaiden. I got a copy of Resident Evil Mercenaries 3D for the 3DS. Like, you guys came out of the woodwork to help when I needed something, and I repaid you by leaving. And it feels like a bit of a betrayal, for which I am genuinely sorry. And I don't know that I will ever make it up to you because, like I said, your generosity was extreme. So what have I been doing since I more or less quit YouTube? A lot of things. When I quit YouTube, my life was in kind of a period of upheaval. I moved into my own place for the first time in a decade, and so I was living on my own, and I started building things. I don't know how or why, but I guess it seemed to fill the hole that was left in my life at that point. So the first thing I built was a board game table with my best friend CJ, which I'll get to why that's important in a bit, but I also started building other things. I got into building handheld gaming systems like this. This is an Odroid Go. It's an inexpensive kit that you can put together your own little handheld gaming machine. You can play Nintendo, Game Boy Color, Game Gear, a couple other systems on this thing. And from that, like, it just grew into more and more complex handheld systems that I started building. Most of these are from kits, and with very little in the way of customization. And each of these have their own stories. I've toyed with the idea of doing a video series on these, but the fact that it would require editing invariably make me give up the idea. And here's this janky thing, like this this thing that you can see right through. It looks like it was just put together from spare parts almost. So there'd be a lot of fun in that. And this one I actually did customize. It looks blue in the video, but I think that's because of the light. It's actually purple. And I painted it myself. The rest is from a kit. And I had a really fun time putting this together, and this is my favorite handheld of the bunch. And there's more. These are just the ones that I had easily available to bring in for this video. And I've also built other emulation machines like set-top boxes, little computers that you put on your entertainment center, plug in a controller, press the power button, and you're off and running. I enjoy doing those as well, all kinds of things along those lines. Like I don't have an NVIDIA Shield yet, but that's on my list. And the other thing that I've been doing is I started another YouTube channel. Now, I'm sure before you jump into the comments yelling betrayal, first of all, it wasn't my idea. I was kind of pushed into it by my buddy CJ. Because we were such huge fans of board games, and the only way he talked me into it was by promising that he would take half the editing duties off me. So I was still editing videos for the past 2 years. You may not have caught them, but they're available on the YouTube. Our channel name is Masters of Boredom, Boarddom. If you watch them, I'm sure you'll recognize the writing style between me and my buddy CJ. We put our heads together and we've put up some really funny stuff. I think if you enjoy my channel here, Pantsless Shorts, you'll enjoy that one as well, even if you're not into board games. But I understand if it's not your cup of tea, because board games aren't necessarily for everybody. I mean, they are, and anybody can pick up a board game and learn it and have fun with their friends, and I absolutely adore playing them. But I understand completely if you're like, no thanks, I prefer this, even though this has come to an end, whereas we're still doing Masters of Boredom videos. Now, mind you, I had an incident with editing a Masters of Boredom video that made me say, not editing anymore, period, done, no more, I'm not doing it. So we started streaming live board games until COVID-19 happened, and so now we stream over Tabletop Simulator on Steam, playing board games online, as it were. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm also I took a break from GOG.com for a couple of years, but when this COVID-19 thing started, I lost my job briefly. And when I did lose my job, GOG.com was like, do you want to come back? And I was like, sure. And the generosity of the fans and the other streamers of that team, like, I swear to God, the GOG.com Twitch stream team is made up of and has former members who were the best humans I've ever come across on the internet or in life. They're all fantastic, wonderful people, and I can't recommend you follow them enough. Like I said, if you enjoy my stuff, you can catch me there. I stream every Tuesday and Wednesday evenings. The times change. It's usually either 9 p.m. or 7 p.m. depending. But there is a GOG.com Twitch schedule you can check to find out. So that's what I'm doing now. Oh, one more thing I'm doing now is I have a podcast called BFYTW. And this is probably the only swear word in this video, but it stands for exactly what you think it stands for. It stands for because fuck you, that's why. And it's not aggressive at all. I worry that people are going to hear that and be like, oh God, I don't need a podcast of people yelling at me. That's not what it is at all. It is a panel show because I love British panel shows immensely. I've gotten so much entertainment from them. And I wanted to do something of an homage with two of the funniest people I know, Stevie and Jorge, who fans of this channel know quite well. They are doing this podcast with me, and it is a panel show. It is a game show of sorts, where we have two teams. It's always Stevie versus Jorge, but sometimes they have helpers, so it's not just them. Sometimes they're teams, but they always face off against one another, playing 3 very silly games for points. And whichever team has the most points at the end wins and gets absolutely nothing for it. It's a laugh riot. We've been having an absolute hysterical time doing this. We've done 28 episodes, and I would recommend you run along and check out all of them. Like I said, if you enjoy me, if you enjoy Stevie, if you enjoy Jorge, this is going to be right up your alley. So you can check that out at bfytwpodcast.com. There will be a link for that, as well as for the Masters of Boredom YouTube channel in this video or in the info box down below. And now for the last question. Will I ever come back? I have to say the answer is not likely. I've thought about it many, many times. Finding some other way, like even just like putting $20 aside to hire someone to edit my videos together for me, just every now and then, just not every week, just whenever I can afford to drop the money or whatever. I've got half-completed scripts. I've got half-completed projects. I've always wanted to come back and finish the Mega Pants list of all the top 100 adventure games of all time, especially before that list disappears off the internet and then it's no good whatsoever. Every time I want to do it, I think about the effort required to edit that video together, and I can't justify doing it. I can't. I want to. Like I said, there are save files, scripts that are half finished that just need a little bit of polish, and then I could put something together and throw it up there. But so for the time being, it's not likely to happen. It might. I can't, and I won't promise anything. All I can say to the people who have followed me for years, for the people who have kept their eyes on this space for as long as they have, for people who sent me things, for people who put nice comments on all the videos, for anyone who even just stopped by and watched, thank you. You didn't have to do that, and I didn't deserve it, but thank you. It's really appreciated that you came by and hung out and had a good time. When I started my YouTube channel, it was literally just a way to put my memories out there onto the internet, because I have this fear of losing them, because my memory is not very good. And I worry that someday I won't remember all these wonderful things that I got to do. The internet and YouTube in particular was a way to keep those memories alive. Who knows, even after I'm gone, maybe. I've been keeping my memories in other ways. Thanks, phone, for that. So I just wanted to say thanks. And sorry. Thanks for being there all this time, and sorry that I haven't been here. the last couple of years. But if you want to keep up with what I'm doing, there's two very good ways to do that. You can follow me on Twitter, where I'm known as @PantslessAaron. I post everything I'm doing there, so if you just follow that Twitter, you will see those links to everything I'm doing. Like I said, right now it is GOG.com streams every Tuesday and Wednesday. Masters of Boredom streams. We have our own Twitch channel, and we do streams every Sunday and sometimes Thursdays as well, depending on if we can manage it. We also throw those streams up on YouTube once they're done, and like I said, there's a whole YouTube channel full of board games videos if you want to check them out. And lastly is the podcast, which is released every Monday, so you can check that out as well. But that's the way to keep up with what I'm doing now. So I want to thank you for watching one last time. Maybe I'll be back. It's a slim maybe, but for right now, it is definitely a maybe. Take it easy, guys.